I'm just trying to fit in, not a lot of room in the margins. Pretty crowded if we're really being honest. Rich men in the shallow end, must be nice in a life vest, looking down from an eagle's nest. Makes sense why they don't see us like people then. 99% doesn't seem meaningless until you gotta fight for the meat that's left with the people you meet from the right and the left, trying to decide for yourself who's here to help and just help themselves by listening to a rapper who mixes his metaphors that land anywhere but near an airport. You're only off course when you stop getting endorsements. Money talks, so we let it speak for us till we chop down every tree in the forest. Funny, all that green didn't leave much for us. Back against the wall, good thing the team's in your corner. That's why you should always think about them moving forward. Lift the people up around you, stop putting up borders. If you can't see their value, you'll always be poor. The fries are in the bag, pull around for your order. Happy wife, happy life, working 9 to 5, make it out alive just to make it home on time. I did like Dad said, made Mama proud, stopped running around and I finally settled down. House in the suburbs, feels like summer, somewhere we can grow, go and start our next chapter. But what if happy after never seems to happen and we become mysteries of the abandoned? I'm tired of hitting restart, watching you play my part, screaming fuck in the car, cause I know it's my fault. Watching people clutch their pearls every time I talk, getting laughed by Forrest Gump is really pissing me off. Every part of me except my heart is telling me to quit, trying to start a fire with 2 wet toothpicks, and I just killed my battery, sexting a couple dick pics. Ah, shit. It was worth it. Never said I was perfect. Pretty sure I'm perverted. Your first choice passed. I'm last on the list next to an asterisk. Bold print, don't do this. Too bad, I just did. Now you're stuck with me, in love with me. That's just how it goes. Happy ever after, just like the heteros. Never let you go. I got us matching headstones. Honey? Pookie? Happy wife, happy life, working 9 to 5, make it out alive just to make it home on time. I did like Dad said, made Mama proud, stopped running around and I finally settled down. House in the suburbs, feels like summer, somewhere we can grow, go and start our next chapter. But what if happy after never seems to happen and we become mysteries of the abandoned? 18 years ago, this guy told me you suck, and those were the good days. How's that for luck? Never forgave myself, that's why I self-destruct, sabotage myself and blame everyone else. What? I'm just that kid who used to fall asleep in school, woke up at 32, didn't learn a damn thing, dude. Wish I had a chance to change that first act. As the cast takes the stage, I watch from the back. For the flip of a coin, maybe I'm just annoying. Coach called me a joke in front of the whole team. Now I know how it feels to fall asleep crying, fall into crime 1 dime bag at a time like I'm digging for diamonds. A once mighty king looked upon the kingdom. When all the walls fall, what will that leave you? Were you a sneak preview or just another sequel? Maybe you need people more than they need you. Happy wife, happy life, working 9 to 5, make it out alive just to make it home on time. I did like Dad said, made Mama proud, stopped running around and I finally settled down. House in the suburbs, feels like summer, somewhere we can grow, go and start our next chapter. But what if happy after never seems to happen and we become mysteries of the abandoned? Made too many mistakes and had to visit the graves. Tried to switch places, woke up the next day. Nobody knew my name, they didn't recognize my face. I called home to Cleveland, my brother answered the phone, but he wasn't my brother anymore. That's when I realized it was me in the morgue. See, back in 06, I tried to exit existence. Turns out I did. The rest was just fiction, something I'd imagined. A lifetime in an instant before the lights went out. And I fade back to Figment, miss my life, wish I'd lived it. What about my wife? Tracked her back to her hometown. She was all alone now, mostly kept to herself, didn't go out. I couldn't fix this, crying every Christmas. She tried different guys, but nothing seemed to stick. A life of quiet solace until she got sick, so I bribed my way to heaven to say hi to a friend. Happy wife, happy life, working 9 to 5, make it out alive just to make it home on time. I did like Dad said, made Mama proud, stopped running around and I finally settled down. House in the suburbs, feels like summer, somewhere we can grow, go and start our next chapter. But what if happy after never seems to happen and we become mysteries of the abandoned? Damn. It's a party in here, but a part of me is somewhere else. I look in the mirror, I don't recognize myself. So I ask, mirror, mirror on the wall, Will I live to see tomorrow? Wish I had a hit like Skilo. Celebrity's not all it's cracked up to be though. There's nowhere to go from the top of the stairs, so people just fall off from there. Thin air. Do I need a bigger ring for the girl of my dreams? If she loves me for me, then money doesn't mean a thing. It's really just my time she's looking at spending. Cinderella's at the ball, then she's gone in a minute. New girl in a new town meets a new guy. They go from googly eyes to a nuclei, a nuclear family. Shell shock when the kids leave. Signed a big deal with a record studio. Before the ink dried, I was out the door. Nobody cared. The album disappeared. Bring a coat, it's cold on One Hit Wonder Road. I love smoking green. I love skipping class. Faces in them books while I'm out here touching grass. 20-year reunion, yeah, not going to that. And let them see the loser they already know I am. First round pick in the draft, look at that. Name on a jersey, hearing everybody clap till I collapsed in practice. Back at mom and dad's on my old mattress. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Silicon Valley, cyberspace cowboy, had a little glitch. Left him with a chip. He invented Wi-Fi, but someone wrote over it. Now he just trolls around on the internet. A girl grew up to be an activist because she believed she could make a difference. Men saw her as dangerous, didn't like these changes. The last place they wanted her story was history, so she made her own pages. See, you can be anything if they tell you you're nothing. Your dreams are real, they're as good as another's. Fortune favors the bold, luck's there if you're prepared. Hell, here goes nothing, into thin air. Found a shoe that fits and I live to see grandkids. Hipster found my album, now they're calling it a classic. Saw my old friends, just glad to see me again. ESPN got a gig, calling play-by-play. Thanks for tuning in, let's get to the news today. Even trolls can build a bridge and find a happy place to live. Sometimes happiness and success are just a matter of perspective. It's a party in here, but a part of me is somewhere else. I look in the mirror, I don't recognize myself. So I ask, mirror, mirror on the wall, will I live to see tomorrow? Bad days, good times, fast forward, rewind. Not bad for a lifetime. I can't wait to make an earthquake, but they found me like Pompeii, and the ashes told a story. Another ghost in the city going about their business, and in a second it all turned to cinders. But that don't change the fact that my life wasn't fiction. At least I had a chance at a dream worth living. Invited to the dance, Cinderella held my hand, and I think about it every midnight ever since. If we're being honest, you knew all along this mental instability would always be a problem. I should be in Congress, naming off a laundry list that keeps getting longer. Anybody I missed, it's the new game for kids hunting political targets. Take a shot at your friends, got you in my crosshairs. What are we teaching them? Heaven help us if it's reaching them. All we do is police them. If they make it to 18, sometimes we release them. But the recidivism rate ain't great, cause privatized prisons, pocketing politicians, stay in business, locking up citizens. They bulldoze the highway through your living room to cut 5 minutes off the daily commute. And there wasn't anything you could do but lose, as they broke off piece by piece like a statue. Don't worry, it's legal, there's actually a statute. The government can take what they want and not ask you. That's never gonna change, they brand us like cattle. Home on the range where all the taxes get saddled. Bad days, good times, fast forward, rewind. Not bad for a lifetime. I can't wait to make an earthquake, but they found me like Pompeii, and the ashes told a story. Another ghost in the city going about their business. Thought everybody hated me, maybe they're afraid of me. Looked at my enemies list, the only name was me. Finally made sense why I always felt lonely. Isolating myself from getting close emotionally. Locked my mind in a 6x9 cell, cause I thought I had it right before I knew how to spell. I heard you can't learn what you think you already know. The philosopher was stoic, so he didn't say a lot though. Personally, I prefer Schwarzenegger films. Heartless machine trying to find a girl. You gotta kill a lot of people if you want to save the world. But somewhere along the way, trends started to change, crushing people people like me under the treads of the tanks, but we're just background extras paid for the day. Don't get a SAG card or a credit for our name, and I just drank the piss of someone on the A-list. Eminem told me about hitting rock bottom. I got a 2-car garage filled with my problems, quarter-acre plot on the corner of the block, a little slice of paradise, this is what you want. Who am I to complain, act like I ain't got it made? Generational wealth don't buy my mental health, well at least it covers copay without going back to the start like Coldplay. What's an arm and a leg? Still cheaper than a dozen eggs. Inflation doesn't exist according to your paycheck that can't keep up with it, cause that's what you get when Ben Affleck's your accountant. Start seeing phantoms changing the town around you. Money in your hand, listen whisper in your ear. Put words in your mouth behind your back you don't hear. Water takes the shape of everything around it. We can see it half full or drink and drown in it. Bad days, good times, fast forward, rewind. Not bad for a lifetime. I can't wait to make an earthquake, but they found me like Pompeii in the ashes. Told a story, another ghost in the city going about their business. I drove to work like I always did, but today was different. I went off the bridge, said goodbye to my wife and kids as I steered into the skid, and my dreams spilled on the guardrail as I heard God call my name. I could smell the gasoline, that's when I felt the flames. Heaven's a dream for people like me who can only see we're broken. Feels like we already know where the story's going from the cold open. I thought it'd be cold in the dark, and if you think it's hot, it's not. Purgatory is hiding somewhere between death and a dream. I fade in and out through the day, pretending everything's okay. I can feel you here, but I can't hear what you're saying. But it sounds like praying. Every mistake I ever made feels like a maze I can't escape. Stuck on a loop I can't undo, turning circles and burning fuel. Heaven's a dream for people like me who need to believe we're not broken. Feels like we can write our own story finally, and now's the moment. I fade back from black to a distant beeping, and the nurse is all asking how I'm feeling, but it still doesn't feel real, like I'm still behind the wheel. Still think I can fix this, forget x-ray pictures, I got ignition, next gear shifting. I'm going home to a life worth missing. If heaven's a dream, must be asleep, cause it sure feels real to me. I got everything I need right here between your wings, baby, I'm free. Don't mean you're bad just because you're in the madhouse. You're a cat, so you ain't allowed a round mouse. Born in a system that judges before you get out. This takes a second to justify a life sentence. Must be popular, I'm a public menace. Political buzzword for about 5 minutes, then back to obscure till they're up for election. Maybe change your gender and you'll get their attention. Everybody knows how this is gonna go. Start off hot, I'm only cool till I'm cold, and I can't line up 3 squares in a row. Besides behind bars on my way to death row. I know I'll meet the devil at the end of this road. I'll bring the shovel, I dug the hole. Could've saved the trouble if only I let go, but I sent myself to hell a long time ago. Instead I got a padded cell for a week or so. Guess that says more about mental health treatment though. 4-year degree, still get denied. Applying at Mickey D's, trying to get in where I fit in, but can't find my rhythm. Never found religion, so I'm burning, that's a given. But I heard about a mission that's offering admission for anybody listening. I missed him, hope I find God in prison. Should be safe spending Sunday in God's house. For the love of God, people, tell me what we're doing now. Skip math, kids practice lockdowns. Adds up, it sucks the way it's looking now. More division than anyone can count. Went through the ringer and we're washed out, and into the cleaners, ironed out. We need leaders, not cheerleaders. Rah rah, all sounds like blah blah. If you want any different, too bad it's nah nah. Better take a chance, it's never if not now. I'm just kidding, time already ran out. That's how life is, ruthless, toothless. Throw you in the trash, useless, putrid, bottomless pit of excuses. Lit short fuse, watch the news for their 2 cents. Enjoy your dinner, please ignore the madness happening outside your window at this very moment. Your neighbor's not eating your cat, we asked her, but just for ratings, we did a reenactment. Make sure to hashtag us your reaction. 5 likes destroys her life for more answers. Launch the Patreon, now we target faster. Locked on, initiate disaster. Caveman ain't changed since the Stone Age. Pale male stale race. So I stole some accolades and still have them today. Embracing me with praise while others were erased. When you put it that way, what if God's gone and left the angels in charge? Well, we're on our own, but we made it this far. It explains a lot, though. Fills in some of the plot holes. Don't worry, folks. The president's got new Bibles. Oops, it's upside down. Who reads this anyhow? Just shove it up in the clouds. No wonder we're in a drought. Who will rain when we all finally drown? I'd start practicing your backstroke now. Everything was going swimmingly until they showed up with their outside influence. Not like us. Actually, we had a lot of problems. There always was. Because history is written by those who should be judged and biased towards who buys the most books this month. We lie, of course, that's what money does. What if its only worth is dividing us? Worthless without a purpose, who am I to judge? I never knew for certain what I really was. An archaeologist or bones in the dust. We all fall to dirt and rise with the rain. Guess we all go to heaven in the end just the same. Still, it wouldn't hurt if you could mention my name. Kinda did some things that are hard to explain. Burnt and clammed up, got hell to repay. So I'm back in the kitchen, trying to get down to business. 0 as given, finishing this mission. I'm in position, nobody's listening. What's the difference? I'm the only witness. I keep preaching to the choir that we're fighting the fire. A lot of men in black watching the flames get hotter. I used to step back, now I'm trying to find the water. Helen Keller, help me before I'm a goner. I know we're good people, but it's harder and harder. Seeing neighbors as evil because of a sign in their yard. So I try to treat people like I'm talking to God. It's easy to listen. If only we tried. I was open for promotion, now it's close to further notice as they're telling me their reasons. I'm finding it hard to focus when every word is coded, sugar-coated and loaded with what some committee voted just so they can make quota. Employees make sense, so let's just get rid of them. Logically, the next step is expansion. I can't even get a stapler or a break for the bathroom, and they bought a treadmill so they can just stand still, skim off the top and let us rot in the landfill. If that sounds like your job, then you know what I'm going through. Walking in the line of fire like you're bulletproof, but you keep walking out alive every time till retirement. It's survival of the fittest that make it in this environment, cause Darwin recipients reciprocating proprieties leave us out entirely. Wonder why we're not smiling. Sorry boss, I'll keep trying, but lying never helped. Keep preaching to the choir that we're fighting a fire. A lot of men in black watching the flames get hotter. I used to step back, now I'm trying to find the water. Helen Keller, help me before I'm a goner. I know we're good people, but it's harder and harder. Seeing neighbors as evil because of a sign in their yard. So I try to treat people like I'm talking to God. It's easy to listen, if only we tried. How come entertainers blow up? It seems counterproductive. Your big break only ends in your destruction. That's why fame feels fake, like they're following instructions. Mass produce, then discontinue production. We don't get attached cause good things don't last. Politics repeat the past like we got a memory lapse. 2025 feels like 1955, except now we got space lasers frying us from the sky. Seems like science fiction predicted this cataclysm could happen at any minute, and it didn't make a difference, but that doesn't diminish all we've accomplished. We just gotta admit we were also an accomplice. Don't forget, history is written by the conquerors. Romans built baths, Nazis filled camps. This government takes your land if you don't pay their tax, and that's skipping over hundreds of years of attacks. You probably won't see in your text, but life put it on the test. What are you willing to bet? You can't believe everything you read, and you better read the room because they're raising the temp. Soon there won't be books, they'll hire firemen instead. Yeah, it's Planet of the Apes because liberty ain't safe. Cold dead hands are what got us here in the first place. Carving up empires like a trophy display. We'll be the next checkmate if we don't make a change. I keep preaching to the choir that we're fighting a fire. A lot of men in black watching the flames get hotter. I used to step back, now I'm trying to find the water. Helen Keller, help me before I'm a goner. I know we're good people, but it's harder and harder. Seeing neighbors as evil because of a sign in their yard. So I try to treat people like I'm talking to God. It's easy to listen, if only we tried. I told myself a lot of things I don't think I believe, cause the rain check on my sunny day is slowly evaporating, so someone can have a rainbow with a pot of gold at the end, and I look like the bad guy if I don't congratulate them. Maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe it's my imagination. Maybe ask Lil Wayne outside the Super Bowl stadium. Keep your ears to the ground, the next one's in the basement. Everybody loves a goat until their wealth has been overstayed. All these cheap modifications like a vape shop invasion. Mom and pop better get a grow off or they ain't gonna make it. It's millionaires out here, setting up shop by the acre. Worshipping the dollar like they're trying to meet their maker. I seen dead presidents and they all wore makeup. I seen how it ends, ain't nobody make it. We put people in the dumpster, get a pedestal for paper. Cash changes hands, but people sign the waiver. Put your necks on the line to be the next one in line. The ladder don't come down this far, cause they don't want us to climb. Think we're up to monkey business like we forgot to evolve. Animals on the loose, it's a zoo. Maybe they're not wrong. I never advocate violence, cause how can we see the problem if everybody's blind, seeking a reprisal for survival? Imagine that CEO is working behind the counter, deep frying french fries, making minimum wage an hour. Would you still hate him? Maybe you just hate the game you're playing. Sorry for the trouble, at least it's not hangman. Looked around for Candyland, all we found was life. So I guess we're playing this, next shooter on the dice. Profits over people, cause minimum wage dreams are getting in the way of quarterly earnings. Labor's running high, it's time to make cuts. It won't be them, so it's just more be us. They think that I'm stupid, forget that I'm human. They don't even really think about me at all, do they? God dropped me on the planet like a B&E intruder. So for now I'm just casing the place, waiting to loot it. Everything's in ruins, cause the junk we've been consuming comes at a high price. They don't advertise in the hype. Just remember spotlights, pick what they highlight. Easily aimed to frame strangers as a lowlife. The television wasn't allowed in the house of the man that invented it. Paints a pretty picture of the patriarchy, doesn't it? Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with further developments. That was the last broadcast, then they went radio silent. Violence is all too common in society. Riot like you ain't afraid to bleed for what you believe. Silent is what they want us to be, so they can defeat us individually. Don't give them that liberty, it's indefinitely. Speaks volumes, but it falls on deaf ears. Subscribe for the next issue as this one disappears. Send your letters to the editor until they find a better career. We're building an automated system, the machine starts here. Mr. Anderson, nice to see you again. Johnny's doing fine, now he's Johnny 5. You're just on time, we reprogrammed your wife. And we wouldn't have to keep reminding you if you let us inside your mind. Why not have text alerts surgically inserted in your eyes? Set preferences for notifications at sunrise. People don't need the full story, they just read the highlights. That must be why I keep reading the same headlines. Profits over people cause minimum wage dreams are getting in the way of quarterly earnings. Labor's running high, it's time to make cuts. It won't be them, so it's just more BS. Mental illness is a sickness. We bandage to try to fix it, but the wires still get twisted. Not firing on all pistons. Anyone can be a victim. Might even be in your living room. Might even be you. Then you'll be us. Welcome to the club where we serve medicine in a cup. You're in good shape if Dave Blunt is out front. I'm sure we got space for another cyber truck. The economy never crashed from extravagant overindulgence. Nostalgia's not a good thing, it actually means pain. The suffering caused by trying to return to the same. At what cost do we realize what we paid in our own way? The definition of insanity, only a stone throw away. Repeating the same day, but never making headway. I'm the common denominator, not sure what to change. Tastes like an hour later, cause I get thrown away. The rapper's just packaging material for commercial display. Ding! Looks like they're ready. Are you sure they're ready? Yeah, they're good enough to eat. 601, a dozen of another. You could replace me as easy as any other. Signing contracts at the easy bake oven. These kids don't even know the life you took from them. They signed on the line, didn't read the fine print. In perpetuity, didn't know what that meant. Means a big fat check, but didn't say where it went. Probably should have read that again. Now it's too late, kid. What happened to the person who was cool, calm, and confident? That must have been some Hollywood biopic. Romantic, cause accurate don't sell tickets. It's a disaster film, just ask the critics. Such a smash success, they had to go out of business. How much did it gross? Well, everybody felt sick, if that's what you meant. So I guess you could say it was mixed. 100% negative, if that's a positive. At least it's consistent. Everybody walked out before the opening credits. Someone said, I can't believe what I witnessed. Makes a rave review taken out of context, and now it's printed in advertisements. Lies spread, but they need guidance. No one said life's fair, let's be honest. If it's a fly, why we need a pilot? It's hard to stay grounded when you know you're a rocket. Cobain's a commercial, it's ironic. Got everything he never wanted, property of Hot Topic. He'd roll in his grave, but we robbed it. Next door, someone's about to score on Jim Morrison. Different continents, but it translates the same. At the end of the day, everybody gets laid, so you're putting in work till they put you in the dirt. Come back tomorrow and still got the same problems. Why does it feel like I'm trying to find oxygen? Life on Mars feels a lot like ours, doesn't it? I see stars getting smaller in the distance. Afraid of darkness, hidden figures. All we do is judge what we're afraid of. Complicit in witness intimidation. Pardon me, we forgot your exoneration. Your honor is your last salvation. Guess I'm supposed to be less of a person and more on brand, encouraging a parasocial connection with fans. I'm still computing how technology's evolved. We're the ones getting swatted by a fly on the wall. Better pack on pounds, cause it's dog eat dog. What we see as a man, they see as a god. We say it's a lie, cause we're afraid if it's not, which honestly says a lot how we got in a cave. We'd rather chase shadows than see the light of day. Every little battle leaves a big price to pay. That's why we're talking heads with no arms or legs. An existential crisis, not myself today. Celebrity can be an enemy. 10 little Kennedys, and then there were none. Ask Agatha Christie, it's no mystery. America shot the president and still kept the gun. What's that say about the life you led? You're worth less than lead. In the eyes of politicians, we're sheep constituents. Minor inconvenience to their cheap ambitions. Measuring their corruption, which one's bigger? Domino effect as the next one does it. That's why they pass bad checks and we can't balance the budget. Breaks my heart. This is what the kids see. Just started, but it feels like it's ending.